As people are speaking on stage, let us speak something and tell the world what we have learned, Lord Father, from this lesson that you have prepared to speak, Lord Father. Lord Father, when someone is going to speak, Lord Father, let the audience not only see them, but also you, Lord Father. Lord Father, I pray for those who are not able to come, let them come, and the next time we'll hold this event, Lord Father. We thank you for the First Lady who was able to come here, Lord Father. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Let's give hands for our prayer lady. Welcome, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Auntie Star, and I'm here with my co-MC, Mr. Kalisto Malunga from Malawi. We are happy to have you here, and we would like to give this opportunity to Mr. Malama to come up front and give us an overview of today's session. Let's give him a round of applause if he's coming.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Malama. I'm the Senior Child Rights Advocacy and Campaign Advisor at Save the Children. But I'm standing here on behalf of all child-focused agencies, organizations that promote the well-being and the rights of children. These organizations most of them are listed up here, so you can just read. I don't need to go through the individual organizations, and we are collaborating in a way that brings children together. I think this morning we counted about 16 countries. Did we count 16 countries? 19? So we have countries, Your Excellency, that have supported children, and most of our organizations have supported children. I wanted to attempt to mention the countries so that we give the appreciation to our Excellency to see which parts of the African continent are represented, that it's not just children from here or children from one other country. I think if I may attempt, we have children from South Africa. If you are from South Africa, you just raise your hand and you wave. Thank you. We have Malawi. Thank you. We have Zimbabwe. And we also have Zambia, Mozambique, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya. Kenya is the house, yes. And we also have South Sudan. We have also Sudan, I think. Thank you. We also have Egypt. Thank you very much. We have the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. We have Central African Republic. We have Nigeria. We have Sierra Leone. We have, which country have I left out? Somalia, yes. Yes, we have Somalia. Burundi, we also have Burundi. We have the Cote d'Ivoire. Any other country? Of course, the logo of the hosting country. I was trying the best for last. Ethiopia also represented. And again, we also have voices from people who unfortunately couldn't travel, Your Excellency, because of the challenge the African continent has around getting passports for children is a complication. So any event that starts and you have 1 month notice is not often enough. We have children from Niger, but they do send their regards and messages, and we will share with them what has been discussed here today. Your Excellency, these children from the African continent have been supported to come here and engage and bring their voices. And over the next 4 days, these amazing children from the African continent will be engaging their government delegations, the Africa Union, and institutions like ours, also engaging with you, Madam First Lady, through Mama Doing Good Foundation. They will be engaging with you and bringing their voices on the issues that are affecting them. We have a very busy 4 days, and we hope today is not going to be the only day we will engage with you. But today we have special messages that I don't want to go into the details of what the children are saying, so they will be invited to bring their own messages to you, Madam First Lady. Then, in the course of the week, tomorrow we have events. In fact, there's a children's media briefing tomorrow at 8 hours at the Africa Climate Summit, which I'm sure the children will be honored with you, to be with you at that media briefing, but we do appreciate your busy schedule, so that if you don't make it. I think apart from that, I think CITA is really appreciating also the partners, the organizations that have supported us to be here, the leadership that we have here, the country directors, from the different organizations, and also the Africa Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, as an institution mandated by the African Union to deliver on children's rights on the African continent. So we do appreciate that. Sita, I think I've covered what we're here for. I can hand over to you and your co-moderator.
Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Malama, for the overview. Our guest of honor, fellow children, ladies and gentlemen, let me now call upon Elizabeth to read the declaration on the SCS. Just give a round of applause as she comes to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Matola, and I am from South Africa. I am here to represent I am here because of Save the Children rights. I stand before you today with deep gratitude to Save the Children for giving me this opportunity to be part of a movement where African children are not just spoken about, but we are speaking for ourselves. Today, we were able to make the Africa Children's Climate Declaration, and we wanted to say to you that we want to be included. Everyone has to be included. Every child has to be included, from informal settlements, rural areas, and those with disabilities. We, the children of Africa, demand urgent and inclusive climate action that protects our rights, our schools, and our futures. The first point we talked about was child representation and policy inclusion. Recognize children as key stakeholders in climate action with unique vulnerabilities and perspectives. Like today, so many children shared their personal experiences on how climate change affected them, their education, health, and leads to many more challenges such as poverty, early child marriages, and child labor. We demand the participation of children and all children from those and all children, including at least 30% representation in all climate decision-making bodies, institutionalized and child dialogues and consultation in policy design and implementation. Ensure all climate policies are child-sensitive with measurable indicators and monitoring mechanisms. Also have policies in children's official languages so that they can understand the policies. Establish formal child advisory councils linked to national climate bodies. Have accountability measures to keep our leaders accountable. Share children sessions to the whole country or society so that it shouldn't only be on paper, but also to the people. That's a way to raise awareness. Use tools like the NDC Equity Tracker to assess inclusion of children, youth, and gender. Second point was climate resilient infrastructure and disaster preparedness. Feed schools and hospitals with solar panels, water-saving systems, heat-resistant materials. 3, tree planting initiatives. Don't plant alien trees or alien vegetations, but have natural crops from our own countries. Mandate climate resilient building codes for all new schools and clinics. Support child-led early warning systems for climate disasters. Food security and nutrition. As children today, we were complaining about how many of our families and communities are part of agricultural activities, and climate change affects that for us, right? Because we have to expand school feeding programs with nutritious and climate resilient meals, promote school-based gardens and farms, integrate climate-smart agriculture into school curricula and youth training programs. Water and sanitation. Unclean water causes children to have diseases such as cholera, which disrupts them from attending school. We have to guarantee that clean water is accessible in all schools, provide proper sanitation and menstrual health facilities. Clean energy and technology. Equip rural areas and schools with solar panels to ensure reliable electricity, introduce energy-efficient lighting and heating in all government schools, promote green innovation and sustainable technologies in education. Companies contributing to climate change should invest in these technologies and education. Education and child empowerment. Integrate climate literacy in hands-on climate projects into all school curricula. Make it practical other than theoretical. Teach a child while they are young. Support teacher training on climate change, climate justice, and child rights. Teach water sustainability and responsible usage. Introduce green job training, fellowships, and internships in climate-related fields. Have translation in sessions for children to feel included and heard. Funding and youth-led initiatives. Allocate natural climate finance to child-led projects. Help them plant more trees in their schools and communities. Support grassroots organizations led by children, especially in undeserved regions. Promote arts-based activism and digital campaigns to amplify youth voices. Simplify funding applications and publish child-friendly summaries of climate policies. Accessible and inclusive communication. Publish impact assessments on children alongside the NDC updates. Use digital platforms popular with youth to share policies and opportunities, and also use language that they are familiar with. Create child-led accountability platforms to track climate progress. 9. Mental health support. Provide mental health counseling and emergency response plans tailored to children. Have mental health counseling for those who have climate anxiety and trauma. The last one is focus on vulnerable and marginalized groups. Prioritize children in socio-economically vulnerable settings, those with disabilities, and those in high-risk areas. Ensure rural and underprivileged communities are not excluded from climate initiatives and opportunities. Thank you.
Let's give me another round of pom-pom according to how we were taught by Uncle Brian. According to the teaching that we got from Uncle Brian, let's give me another round of pom-pom. It's not that sure the adults vote us what we taught. Hey. Yes.
So the club that granddaughters was this way then just to be the same process. So I don't know.
Thank you so much. Allow me to write on the protocols observed by my co-facilitator and call upon to our stage here our esteemed guests, the country director from Plan International, to come up front and give us his or her reactions on the declaration that was just made. Give him a round of applause. The same applause.
Thank you. I think it's quite humbling to stand here. I'm not quite sure what I was expecting out of this, but to have a clear, concise level of expectations and demands upon us, I think speaks volumes. I've said it once today that this is your future, it's not mine. This is why your voices have to be part of that future. You are the future leaders of your communities, of your countries, of this glorious, diverse continent. And I wrote something as I was listening to this, and it said, "Don't let us get away with it." And I think you put it exactly. Holding us, your representatives, your government at all levels, the organisations represent you or amplify your voices, hold us to account. I think you ran through I know you ran through a list, and one of the things which went through my mind then is that if we invest in green technology, if we invest in green products, in climate smart agriculture, overall the return on investment is at least 5 times. That makes economic sense as much as it makes climate sense. That makes sense for water. It makes sense for energy and technology. It makes sense for the job, training and investment that you mentioned. Close to my organisation's heart and my heart as well was the centrality of education in there. There is no greater gift, I think, that we can give your children, any child, my children, your children, anybody's children, than an education. And we know globally a quality primary education enlarges children's abilities and their expectations and their future prospects enormously. This is especially the case for girls. And an investment in education, using education as a carrier for what you were talking about, for practical examples in smart agriculture, practical trainings for the future green jobs, is marvellous. What we now have to do, and you have to hold us to account for, is taking that forward, not just in this summit, but beyond that, so that we have a positive effect on the lives of you all and your peers, wherever you're from. Thank you.
Let's give him another round of applause our way. Our ACSS, he showed us just a few weeks ago. Let's give him. Yeah. It means you need to be retained. You can stand up. Follow his lead. Thank you so much. Allow me to call upon the country director for Save the Children Ethiopia to come up stage to give us variations to the children's declaration.
A very warm welcome to all of you to Addis Ababa. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really honored to be here with everyone today, and as we could see and witness right now, there has been a lot of work going into deliberations on climate change and what children would like to see going forward in their declaration. And it's really good to see children at the center of these discussions, and I'm so glad that we will continue together to work and to develop solutions to climate change challenges. I remember when I was growing up, it was different. I could play outside, in the sun, in the rain, without really worrying, will the storm hit, will the sun be too harsh? And what we see today, basically, is very different. The reality is very, very different. And I could see and hear now that everyone in this room actually understands very well why addressing the issues of climate change is so important. I'm sure some of your friends may have missed school because of a flood or a storm. Many of you have probably witnessed drought or crop failures. Research shows that a child born in 2020 will face 2.5 times and more of catastrophic natural events than their elders. And that's really a call for all of us to wake up and to act. And I know that many children, including some of them in this room, have already had a chance to present the views and to present the needs and solutions that children have designed. I just want to say that what we have heard today in the declaration is very comprehensive view on the climate change issues and what needs to be done. You are talking about health, we are talking about education, we are talking about infrastructure, about economy, about agriculture, a really, really comprehensive view. Water, of course, as extremely important subject. What I liked also was the statement, teach a child while they are young. That is extremely important. As my colleague Pete said, education really carries everything that you as young leaders do and will continue doing in the future. And we will be here to support you along the way. So I want to encourage you to continue being bold in sharing your thoughts, your experiences, and your answers to climate change issues. And also, I would like to congratulate you on successfully holding your national consultations, and also congratulations on holding this special Children's Summit. Your voices and your solutions matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, the country director. Now let me call upon Belete Kanewode, from the government representative.
Good afternoon. Honorable the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear children, welcome to the Second African Children Climate Summit Declaration Program. It is a great joy and pride that I welcome you all to Addis Ababa, the heart of Ethiopia, the diplomatic capital of Africa. Today, the city is not just a meeting place. It is a symbol of unity, hope, and action. We are especially honored to welcome children from across a beautiful continent, from the north to south, the east to the west. You bring with your voice, dreams, and energy of African future. So you come from different African countries. Today, you are gathered here as one family, united by shared purpose, protecting our planet and shaping a brighter tomorrow. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges of our time. Its effects are felt everywhere, from droughts and floods to food insecurity and disappearing biodiversity. But while the challenge is great, so too is the power of young people. You have a creativity, courage, and determination to lead the way. This summit is not only about discussing a problem, it is about finding a solution, sharing ideas, inspiring action. It's about listening to your voice, because your voice matters. The decision we make today will shape the world you inherit tomorrow. Dear children, you are not just a leader of the future, you are the leader of today. Your passion, your innovation, and your commitment can ignite change in your school, community, and your nations. On the behalf of Ethiopia, the government of Ethiopia, all those gathered here, I extend to you a very warm welcome. May this summit be a place where friendships are formed, ideas are shared, and hope is strengthened. Together, let us rise to challenge climate change and build a greener, safer, and more just Africa for all. Welcome once again. Welcome to Addis Ababa. Welcome to the summit. Welcome to the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the government representative, for your reactions. Before we continue, we'd like to have a certain energizer. I think we are losing concentration, isn't it? Can you just stand for a little bit of time? So, this energizer will involve our hands, okay? So when I say up, you should leave your hands down. When I say down, you should put them up, okay? When I say up, you put them down. When I say up, or when I say down, you put them up, okay? Down. Down. Up. Down. Some of you are failing. Up. Up. You people, up. I can see a certain guy in racing. I said up, down, down. I've got you. Down, up, down. Okay, nice one. Thank you. So let me now call upon Honorable Gava from AU. Let's just give him a round of applause as he's coming here.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, the First Lady of Kenya, dignitaries and participants. Good afternoon. Yeah, I bring greetings from the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. The committee is so delighted at this program. And the theme of this program so much highlights the reality that children are facing. And it resonates completely with the mandate of the committee, which has a mandate to monitor the implementation of children's rights across the continent. And so this aligns very well with the broad mandate of the committee, and especially of the working group, the committee's working group on children's rights and climate change. This working group was established alongside other working groups as a response to escalating emergencies faced by children in climate change events. And so the committee conducted a study on how children are affected in a climate change crisis and came up with a lot of findings. Broadly, that this takes away the critical human rights of children, their rights to food, their right to family, their right to shelter, their right to survival development. So almost the whole spectrum of human rights really are compromised when children are caught up in emergency crisis. And so coming up at this time as it is very timely indeed. It's a very opportune time to take advantage of some of the recommendations that the committee made based on the key findings. And the recommendations really align a lot with those found in the declarations because they are based on realities. that children experience in climate settings. And so the committee, first of all, calls on states to intentionally adopt and implement child-responsive budgets that specifically respond to children in climate crisis and other emergencies. This is very important as it should establish an infrastructure that is friendly to implementing and realizing the rights of children. And the need for children to be involved and the rights of children captured in national adaptation plans as countries plan adopt their adaptation and mitigation plans to ensure that there's highlight and there's integration of children's rights is one of the key recommendations. Because this is inescapable given the fact that we have a large population of children with us in Africa. And for children to also be involved in preventive measures that need to be taken, in the early warning mechanisms that affects them, for children to be part of the plans that watch out, and so that states take measures, maybe if there's need to take measures to prevent children's exposure to these dangers, for instance, like evacuations and others. And then the need for specialized and professionalized response to children who have suffered trauma and other shades of violence against children, sexual exploitation, trafficking, child marriage, and others that affect children the more given their vulnerability. And so the need for child-specific responsive system within the system is also canvassed by the committee. And of course, the issue of child participation, among others, it is very gratifying to note that that has already taken off, and our children are very well informed, sitting in the room here. In the committee, we are always concerned about the differences between the rural areas and the urban areas, issues of rural and urban disparities. In as much as our children here are well informed, we have a duty to cascade that to the rural levels where you actually have more events occurring and where there are other intersections of illiteracy, poverty, and others. And so we call upon state parties to, in making their plans, their responsive plans, to step it down to the community level so that all the children are taken along and capacitated to be able to respond to issues of climate change. And the committee, in the area of climate change, the committee is very appreciative of organizations and individuals who have taken up the responsibility of creating space for children to be able to speak out, for building their capacities to be able to speak out. And the committee appreciates the Mazingira Awards instituted by the First Lady in Kenya. Our interaction with children from Kenya after the summit of 2023 indicated that they had learned a lot. Their confidence has been built in that area, and they are going to be more involved. They know where and what they want per time. And so we appreciate you and other organizations pushing this agenda. And the committee also appreciates the coalition of child-focused agencies that has organized this program for the support and collaboration it has had with the committee in bringing up some of our children and building their capacity to where they are now. We just hope that more and more activities will take place in order to have more impact and have a general and serious response to children's rights in climate situations. Going forward, the work of the committee is structured according to thematic clusters. And why children and climate change was broadly categorized under
children and armed conflict, there is a need, the committee has seen a need to pay specific attention to the rights of children in climate situations. So the committee will likely be focusing more on that as a standalone cluster in its work. Thank you so much.
Okay, another round will come from our way this time. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. Oh, okay. We are now enjoying. Thank you so much. So allow me to call up front the Principal Secretary from the Ministry of Environment in Kenya, Honorable Festus Mungeno, to react to the declaration and also to take the opportunity to present to us our Honorable guest, Her Excellency Rachel Ruto, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya. So you have two jobs, one to react to our declaration and the other to call up guest of honor. Give him a round of applause.
Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, and all guests who are here, allow me to write on the protocols already established. But just allow me, Your Excellency, to recognize the children of Africa who are gathered here today. And ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me great honor to stand before you today at this historic gathering at the Africa Children's Climate Summit, which is a pre-summit. We are inspired, Your Excellency, and humbled to see young champions from more than 16 countries united by one vision to safeguard our planet. We are all experiencing in real time the devastating impacts of climate change, floods, droughts, and food insecurity that disrupt the schooling, endanger health, and threaten safety of our children. Tragically, Your Excellency, it is the children and women who bear the heaviest burden. And yet, while children are the most vulnerable, we are also among the most powerful actors in climate action and solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, at the inaugural Africa Climate Summit in 2023, hosted by the AU and the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, reminded us that children and the young people must never be seen as passive victims of climate change, but as active participants in building solutions. He said, and I quote, "Our children are the heartbeat of Africa's resilience. When we invest in them, we invest in the future of our continent and our planet." And today, Your Excellency, we see that investment is alive in this room. We see it in your creativity, your bold ideas, your art, and your courage in demanding climate justice. You have reminded us that protecting our environment is not merely a technical issue. It is the deepest form of justice. It is our sacred and intergenerational duty. In Kenya, and reacting to the children's issues on inclusion, policies and programs, including climate resilience programs, we are working to institutionalize this vision on our third National Climate Change Action Plan 2023-2027 and Kenya's nationally determined contribution for the period 2030 to 2035, which includes for the very first time, Your Excellency, a strategic priority dedicated to youth and children. We want policies and programs to be shared, not just for the young people, but also with them. Further, Your Excellency, we are proud of your First Lady's Mazingira Awards Flamma, which celebrate the innovation and leadership of children across the country in environmental stewardship. This initiative, under the patronage of yourself, Your Excellency, is a shining example of how children's voices can be recognized and elevated nationally and continentally. However, we must be candid, Your Excellency, also to say that less than 3% of our global climate financing currently targets child-centered interventions. This must change. If Africa is to lead the world in climate action, our leadership must be children-sensitive, ensuring resources flow directly to the interventions that protect, empower, and build the adaptive capacity of children and the youth. To the young champions, our children, your energy is contagious and your message is undeniable. It is now our duty as leaders of today to translate your vision into tangible action. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I wish to affirm Kenya's unwavering commitment, especially from the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, to advancing child-centered climate action, not just within our borders but across Africa. And together we can ensure every child grows up in safe, healthy and sustainable environment. And ladies and gentlemen, to guide us on this path, we are privileged to be joined by our leader who has dedicated herself to our well-being of our children and the sustainability of our communities. She is a formidable advocate for children and women and for our planet, a leader whose compassion is marked only by her commitment to action. It is therefore my great pleasure and honor to invite you to the body.
Thank you very much. We may be seated. Ambassador Petronila Were, Deputy Head of Mission of the Republic of Kenya in Ethiopia, Engineer Festus Ngeno, Principal Secretary for Environment and Climate Change in Kenya, Aver Gavad, Member of the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, members of the Joining Forces Alliance, partners present, our beloved children from across Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon again. Children have the purest way of reminding us of what truly matters. At the first African Climate Summit in Nairobi, I saw them laugh, play, and imagine solutions to climate change that adults had overlooked. We have children from across our continent, each one carrying the voices of millions. You have come together not only to speak, but also to lead, reminding us that climate change is not a distant threat of tomorrow. It is the lived reality of your childhood today. At the 2023 African Climate Summit, I saw how children are not just participants in climate action. They are innovators, truth tellers, and dreamers of a better tomorrow. Your energy, your ideas, and even your laughter turned what could have been a policy discussion into a movement of hope. Today, that hope shining again. Children are not just beneficiaries of climate action. They are powerful agents of change. It is with this conviction that I launched the First Lady's Mazingira Awards in 2023 to celebrate young champions driving climate solutions. Mazingira is a Swahili word for environment. I'm proud to be joined by our youngest 2024 award winner, a remarkable young girl from Kenya, Sasha Ngeny, only 7 years old, yet already using her voice to inspire climate action through poetry. She represents Sasha is right here. You can wave. Thank you, Sasha.
You're welcome.
She represents millions of African children whose creativity and determination are the greatest renewable resource we have. Let us all take a moment to celebrate Sasha, and through her, every child across Africa who is daring to imagine a greener, safer future. Thank you, Sasha. You can have your seat. Let's give it up to Sasha. The theme, My Rights, My Climate, Child-Responsive Climate Action in Africa, declares boldly that the climate crisis is also a child's rights crisis. The loss of homes to floods, the pain of hunger from drought, or missing school because of water scarcity are not statistics, they are lived experiences. Climate justice for Africa, therefore, must mean justice for our children. As our children face these challenges, they have shown us courage and leadership. At the first climate summit in Nairobi, children developed the first African Children's Climate Declaration, calling for food security through climate-smart agriculture and renewable energy in farming, protection from violence and harmful practices during climate crisis, health systems that respond to climate-related diseases with clean water and safe sanitation, disaster-proof schools, and safe shelters that protect learning and dignity. These were not just demands, they were solutions. And today, we are building on that legacy, moving from advocacy to action by creating not only a new declaration, but also a child-led monitoring and accountability framework. This will ensure that your voices do not end here, but continue to shape decisions at every level. As the First Lady of Kenya, I want to assure you of our commitment through the First Lady Mazingira Awards, FLAMA, and School Household Kitchen and Food Garden Program. We are enhancing climate action, food nutrition security for children and families. These efforts are aligned with Africa Leaders' Nairobi Declaration on Climate Change and Call to Action, which emphasized the role of climate education, clean cooking, climate-smart agriculture, biodiversity, and the role of youth and children in building resilience. Your voices give these commitments life and urgency. To our leaders, listen carefully. These children are not passive victims of climate change. They are co-creators of solutions. They deserve a seat at the table, whether in local school boards, national parliaments, or global platforms. Let us integrate their voices into policies, budgets, and programs. To the children gathered here, dream boldly. Clean rivers, tall forests, schools safe from drought or food. Work together, for your voices will echo in parliaments, boardrooms, and the United Nations. You are not just leaders of tomorrow, you are leaders today. As Nelson Mandela said, history will judge us by the difference we make in the everyday lives of our children. Let us be a generation that turns climate crisis into resilience, transforming fear into hope and hope into action, as declared this afternoon in the Africa Children's Climate Summit Declaration. To our partners who continue to stand on the front lines of children's advocacy, creating safe spaces, amplifying young voices, and protecting their rights, we are deeply grateful. Your tireless efforts remind us that real change happens when we act together, united in purpose and driven by love for Africa's children. I pledge to stand with you, to amplify your voices, and to champion your rights in every climate conversation I'm a part of. The future is ours, and Africa's children are leading the way to ensure we have a child-centered, inclusive, and just Africa. Thank you, and may your voices today echo Africa and the world. May God bless you all, and may God bless Africa. Mazingira yetu, jukumu letu. Our environment, our responsibility. Let us repeat it again. Mazingira yetu, jukumu letu. Our environment, our responsibility. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Another very, very big round of applause. I want one that shows that we've been respected as children of Africa. Another one. Anyone from Zambia who wants to show us how they show gratitude in Zambia? Or the Zambians have a name. Come and show us how you show gratitude and give Her Excellency a very big Zambian thank you. Come up front, come fast, and one Ethiopian. Just two, one Ethiopian, one Zambian. Our timekeeper, come and show us how you show gratitude in Ethiopia. Live in the house. Anyone from Ethiopia is at table. Yes. Show us how you give thanks.
So in Zambia, how we give thanks, especially to our elders, is to kneel down and clap.
Ethiopian to come up front. Sudanese, come. The Sudanese, I know you have something for us. Come up front and show us how you give thanks in Sudan. In South Sudan, sorry. Yes.
I thought you were very Sudan.
My bad.
Thank you very much. These are two different countries, South Sudan, Sudan. Now, in South Sudan, if you want to give thanks to the healers, there are two things that we do. Number one, you first let the healer know that you are very happy for that, right? So you first have to go down like this. You see? Then you do a very good handshake. I don't think that was good.
Thank you, a better handshake from South Sudan. Then one French speaker, and then probably our Portuguese speaker. Come and show us how you say obrigado in Maputo. Come the side. Then one French speaker. Any French? Yes, there is a French speaker. Come and speak in French how you say thank you. Who's the French speaker?
Yeah. What are you? Good afternoon. Como é que se diz obrigado em Moçambique? Bonsoir à tous. I don't speak English. I speak French. Donc, nous, lorsqu'on dit merci,
il y a plusieurs manières. On peut faire mais,
si, au,
session. I think Her Excellency Mama Rasha Roto is also going to enjoy this one with us as children and every adult that is in the room. I want to call upon Sasha and Sam to come up front and help us to have our Mazingira dance. come up front on the stage, which means everyone remove your shoes and be ready to dance.
Excellency. Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Awesome. So I'm here with